What's up, guys? We should be live. You should be looking at my face. Microphone's a little loud, so we're gonna turn that down a little bit. Maybe I'm just yelling a little bit too loud. Maybe if I just stopped talking, I sound like an auctioneer. Maybe if I just wasn't so loud, we wouldn't have microphone problems. I hope everyone's well this Sunday evening. Yeah, got kind of a lot of stuff to talk about. World Cup ended today, so we have World Cup stuff we can talk about. So we can talk about actual paintball teams winning paintball tournaments. There's some products around here, stuff that came out fairly recently that we can bring over here and we'll talk about. And there's also a lot of other new products that got released at World Cup today. So we're going to talk about World Cup, the actual paintball tournament, products that are released, and then more products that are released that actually have in hand that we'll talk about. So we kind of like to, let this go for these lights. These lights this late in the evening for me. I look up and I'm like, they hurt my eyes. So yeah, we'll give it a couple minutes. Then we'll jump into, I don't know, I'll just start going down my list of topics of things that I want to talk about, like NXL. MacDev Prime XTS. I don't really know that much about that though. We'll talk about that later. PBRack have new pants out, kinda. HK Army's track pants, the TRK pants. HK Army CS2. The HK Army Magtek pack. The Freak ACP barrel tip. And I think there's some more things. I feel like that's not the CS2 Pro. For some reason, I did not put that on here. CS2 Pro. I'm all ready for it. I didn't put it on my little teeny baby list. What else we got? We have the Luxe Encore bolt, something that's actually been supposed to come out for about a year now, so it's actually good we're finally seeing that. The Luxe Encore bolt system. There was so much stuff. It's hard to keep track of. We actually cut out some things too. So there were some other products I wanted to talk about, and it's just man, it's just we can't do this all night long, I don't know how long this is gonna take. So you can't do it all night long. But anyway, I hope everybody's well. And yeah, we're just gonna jump into it. So we're gonna switch over to not that screen. You can't see me in that one. That one right there. And what's first up on our docket? So I don't know. Well, actually, let's just go back to talk about the NXL, because that's the first thing on there too. So those are your NXL winners. So the NXL Pro Division of the NXL World Cup just concluded today. If you want to go watch that, I would highly suggest gosports.com. Some actual really good matches today. There were a lot of good matches in the finals and the quarterfinals. I don't know, the semifinals matches were not so great, but we definitely saw good matches against, I don't know, I actually had these written down and I deleted them. But all the quarterfinals matches were really good. I think overall this event, at least on Sunday, I think NXL, it was great, right? I think at least watching the event, all the matches were good. Some of the camera angles, we always talk about this, are a little hit or miss. I think that sometimes they do better at camera angles than not. Yeah, but overall, I thought the event was cool. In the finals, we did see Houston Heat, you can see right there, took first though. In second, we had Russian Legion. San Antonio X Factor in third place, coming off a first place in a previous first place. So this is the third event they've podiumed, at least. They actually took the series title. We have AC Dallas in fourth place, and then San Diego Dynasty in fifth. Someone said San Diego Dynasty screwed up this event. I don't know. I don't think they did bad. I mean, I personally, I always want to see Dynasty do better. I think that watching Dynasty play well is fun, right? I think that they're that homegrown team that isn't paid to play, and we all like it that they're homegrown, we'll say, and they don't just have a bunch of ringers on their roster. Like Houston Heat, X Factor even, and Russian Legion all have ringers. AC Dallas doesn't though. They're that homegrown team. Anyway, that was a tournament. It was good. The finals matchup I thought was really interesting, mainly because it was that Russian Legion Heat matchup, right? We're used to seeing those teams kind of butt heads ever since a lot of the Heat players, when Heat formed, came from Russian Legion. We've seen a lot of that tension, and it's just good to see fun rematch. Sergey plays for Houston Heat, or no, Sergey Sergei Shlishnikov plays for Russian Legion now, and he played for Houston Heat last year. So it's funny to see him go over there and them kind of like, I don't know, battle it out. It was also cool, out of the 5 top killers at this event, 4 of them were in the finals. That's kind of typically how we see that, though, as like, you know, the finals teams just play more matches, so they have more opportunity to kill people, so they're normally getting higher kill counts. But it was fun to watch. It's cool to see that there's, you know, those 4 guys, and we're watching that match being like which one of those 4 guys is going to win. It's cool to watch that. You can watch that Top Gun winner to see who's going to get the most kills that event, and then who's going to win the tournament. So we kind of have like 2 fun things to watch there. That's cool. I like that. I don't know, what are my notes from this? I made little notes about the finals match. It's cool. I think that like one of the things that I find kind of annoying or boring, we'll say, in the NXL or watching Go Sports early in the tournament, right? Like say I'm watching matches even on Thursday or Friday or Saturday, is that the crowd is really dead. There's not a lot of excitement. So it's fun to watch on Sundays when, like, you know, a big move happens. Someone bunkers someone and the crowd goes crazy and everyone cheers and stuff. I find that, like, I don't know, me watching that kind of like sitcoms with laugh tracks, it kind of like gets me excited, and I don't know, I like it. So it's fun to hear that like crowd yelling and stuff, even though it sometimes I feel like they're yelling stuff that like might be giving positions away. I don't like that. I don't know if they're actually doing that, but who knows? I know the players don't want that, but I don't know. I just like it when the crowd's kind of into it and having fun. One of the bad parts about, I would say, the finals is it was a very close match. It went really down to the last second. There was, I don't know, 20 seconds left. The match was tied up. In Houston, he actually ended up winning on a penalty, really. So I don't like that. I'm not a fan of teams winning on penalties. I think that I would rather see matches just played out, right? I would rather see who the best team is. I don't necessarily want to see, I don't know, people getting penalties and winning tournaments. So, but it was a very good. I really like watching Sunday matches, but I can't stand watching Friday and Saturday. It's just like so monotonous. I'm not a fan of it. Keith need impact. Sorry, I'm reading a comment. All out of order. Impact. Sorry, Chad. Impact need Keith Brown back. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they don't need Keith Brown back. I mean, they're definitely not as good without him, right? But I don't necessarily know if that's just Keith. I think Impact's going through this like weird phase. Yeah. So the reason that like I went back to this NXL thing is because I was in this window, and the first thing up on my like stuff I want to talk about was Pat Kraft from New York Extreme. Someone just said New York Extreme beat Russian Legion, and I'm happy for that win, even though we didn't get top 5. Sure, so yeah, New York Extreme ended up beating Russian Legion, or Red Legion, which is a big victory. Here we have some video of their first match. It's 0-0, so it's the first point. We'll just watch it play out.
Drops up over the top, and Smotrop lost him, and Packcraft Jr. shoots him into the ground.
Oh, blows him out of his boots.
And
nice move at that.
oh, Packcraft's going to do the loader dump on Smotrop. He's going to try to get...
I think this is funny.
Oh, Packcraft is pumped up already.
There we go.
Oh, then Packcraft gives him some respect, though.
Yeah.
Hey, that was nice.
So, like,
yeah, you know, because I mean,
I don't know.
Smotrop,
I think it's
that's
funny
not
because
necessarily the guy you want to
Pat
go
Kraft
get
on New York
shot,
Extreme,
so
those
it's gonna
guys
be
definitely,
Smotrop
New York
here.
Extreme in general, are definitely very like combative, and they like talk a lot of shit, and they like have a lot of fun, which I'm fine with. I think it's entertaining. I think for the most part, all the other teams like it. And then I think that's Samotrov. Samotrov? I don't know. I think it's Samotrov. Anyway, he goes over to like, you know, start something and talk a little bit, and then instantly he's like jumping, and he's like, oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, you're cool. We're cool. He's like, don't talk shit to the Russians. I'm like, they're serious. It's kind of funny. I feel like with all the American teams, like, New York Extreme can have fun and like, you know, jab at each other and have fun and like jaw back and forth. But it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know if we know the Russians or you know the Russians well enough to start like getting like that. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of funny. I really like that. Someone says, can someone please explain Russian Legion versus Red Legion? So they're the same thing. Yeah. Back in the day, they were Russian Legion. And then, whoops, someone super chatted. But no question. Oh, I appreciate that, but I'm going to ask questions. Well, you don't have to ask questions. But, yeah, back in the day, they were Russian Legion, right? Long time ago, they were Russian Legion. And then, like, all these teams started to put, like, actual cities on their names, right? Like, we had San Diego Dynasty. They didn't start that way. It was just Dynasty. And then, yeah, Red Legion became Boston Red Legion because they wanted to be, like, based in America. And then they changed their name to Moscow Red Legion. So it's the same thing. It's just, yeah, same thing. I hope that's somewhat useful, though. Eric, a 1999 super chat. Thank you, sir. That's much appreciated. We're going to work this forward. We're going to keep moving along. Okay, so we talked about NXL highlights. We also have a little bit more, I would say, information on the MacDev Prime XTS. Maybe not a ton of information, because weirdly enough, I didn't know they actually released this video, and I haven't really been paying all super attention. I've been trying to watch as many matches as I can, more so than, I don't know, look at product stuff. But like, I saw this video come out, so I went over to MacDevPaintball.com to try to find more information. Their website's like completely dead and doesn't work, so that wasn't that useful. So we don't know how much this is costing, and it appears to be almost the exact same gun, right? I know it still has the infinity drive that they're having on the old Prime, the original Prime, so it's still going to shoot very, very similar. It does have a new feed neck. They do have a new on-off, and then the foregrip and the back grips are different. They're a little bit bulkier, a little bit bigger, so it has a little bit thicker, chunkier feel on the gun. And those grips are a little bit softer and more forgiving, so they're going to feel a little bit softer, I don't know, just better in the hands. It does have toolless eye covers now, which is a thing that, like, I like, but, like, I don't know. I don't know if it's a necessarily a mandatory thing for me. I don't know. I'm kind of on and off about MacDev. I find that their website not working right now when they're launching a gun is a perfect example of MacDev. So, I don't know. I find it increasingly difficult to talk positively about some of these companies, right? Like, I feel like they're falling so far behind. Like, Planet Eclipse is just jumping ahead day by day. The Luxes are getting considerably better. I feel like all these guns are getting better, and MacDev, like, is getting better, but not nearly fast enough or quickly enough to start competing with Planet Eclipse. I don't know. It's just a hard thing. Like, I would like to be able to, I don't know, say that their products are cool and like they're great and all this stuff, but I don't know. I've yet to see it that way. So when the XTS is more available, hopefully I'll get one of those and then try to, like, you know, see it. Speaking of new paintball guns that came out this weekend, there was also this thing, the Planet Eclipse CS2 Pro. So the CS2 Pro is kind of like a rolling update. I think that in the past we've seen Planet Eclipse do this very often. We've definitely seen them do this very often, where they have a product like the CS2 and just kind of do little minor tweaks to refresh it a little bit. So that's kind of what the Pro is. So the CS2 Pro is really the same thing as the CS2. It has milled down body a little bit, so it's a little bit lighter. It does come with 3 barrel backs now, though. You are getting the 681, 685, and the 689 barrel back. 2 triggers. You're getting the scythe trigger and the blade trigger, like on that gun right there. So those are both of them together. The CS2 is on the bottom, and then the Pro is on the top. So you can see the milling's a little bit different. Not all that much, just sleeker. And instead of the carbon fiber barrel tip, it is now coming with the aluminum barrel tip. So the shaft FL barrel that, I don't know, is it still an FL barrel if it's coming with the aluminum tip? I don't know. So the original CS2 came with aluminum backs and a carbon fiber tip. Now they're coming with an aluminum back and aluminum tip. So you're getting 2 triggers, 3 barrel backs, and an aluminum barrel tip. That's essentially what CS Pro is. For $50 more though. So it is $50 more bucks, but you are getting, 3 barrel backs. I think they're able to add the barrel backs and only make it be $50 more because you're no longer getting that carbon fiber tip, you are getting that aluminum tip. And like, what's kind of weird though is this gun weighs 2 grams less. So it's lighter, the overall body of the gun is lighter, but because they're going with that aluminum barrel tip over the carbon fiber barrel tip, the whole thing kind of evens itself out. So I don't know. I don't know. Like, yep, it's CS2 Pro. But don't buy one. If you've got a CS2, there's likely no reason to buy it. It's just like the, LV 1.5 or the CS 1.5. It's highly unlikely I will ever have one on this channel because it's just a, CS2. Yeah. The same thing also happened, though. There was another CS2, the HK Army. Uh-oh. My pictures aren't working. Let's see if we can load my pictures really fast without crashing the whole entire system. Uh-oh. See, I thought I was all ready. We're definitely not all ready. Okay. Bear with me. There we go. Sort of. What's with those weird? They look weird. I don't know. That one was a weird one. I screwed up those ones a little bit. The CS2 Pro. Nope. The HK Army Invader CS2. So kind of the same thing, right? I mean, ultimately, all this thing is... I want to go back to my notes so I don't get anything crazy wrong. All this is really like a custom milled version of the CS2 Pro. So you're getting that same stuff, right? Those 3 barrel backs, both of those triggers, and that's all. It's just cool milling. Really the bad part about this, though, is it's $250 more. So it's $1,800 just for that cool look. It looks good. I mean, I've never been one to, spend the extra money on anodized guns or guns with cool milling. Here's a video of it. It looks really good. I mean, I really like the pure, so that, silver one looks really good. Yeah. I don't know, it's just CS2 Pro, but by HK Army, so it's the CS2 Invader. Yeah. Are there any more guns we can talk about? I feel like that's all the guns, right? That's all the guns. What are people saying? If you have questions about that, ask me questions about this. I feel like questions. CS2 branding with HK Pro. Yeah, pretty much. Oh no, anyway, I feel like when I do these little we have the force. I have a force here. So if you want to hear me talk about the force in person, there's one over there on the ground. So once I run through all these, we're going to go do a force. I have a force over there. We have new HK Goggle case, which I want to talk about, which is actually, I like it. Yeah, so we'll get to that stuff. So hang out here for 20 minutes or come back tomorrow. I'm going to chop all these up. Yeah. So this video will be back up later. Anyway, okay. Or if you want to search, really, the best way to do that is if you search Ruined Clips on YouTube. That's the new channel for this that I should have planned and talked about, but we didn't do that. So we're moving on. So here's something else. I think that these are actually a product that I'm kind of interested about. This is a new pant. These are a new pant from HK, the HK Army track pant. So HK Army historically had multiple pairs of these track pants, right? They have their Freeline pants that they've come in this jogger style fit. They also have their just regular casual joggers that come in 2 different fabrics, right? They come in a polyester style fabric, and then they come in a cotton fabric. Most of the paintball players that we're seeing playing in these HK Army joggers are wearing just those regular casual joggers that are made out of polyester. So they're made out of these crazy pants. These are a 2XL, so they're mightily big on me. But these are the HK Army old style casual joggers. So most of them are like this, right? Thick, heavy polyester material, which I like. And they're actually doing that on these joggers. So they're using some of that polyester material up at the top area, but the rest of it, the knee area, is all ballistic knee. And then the back is going to be all mesh. So the joggers I have on right now, I'd actually like to play in them, but I think they're a little bit too heavy. So I like the track jogger, how they added that ballistic knee, and then added mesh or lighter weight material to the back of the knee, so that they're going to fit well, but be a little bit lighter weight, and then more geared toward paintball. Because they do have they do have swab holders on the side, waterproof pockets, so they're a little bit more geared toward playing. There's that pod thing right there. So I like them. I like to see it. I always like to see more products. I am all about the more products that we can get, the more product offerings we have. It's just good, right? I mean, it makes stuff cheaper, it makes the competition better, so we're just getting better stuff from it. So I like them. I'm a fan of them. I want to try them out. I don't know if I necessarily like all the like skulls down the side though. I just wish it was a little bit more blackish. Not like the TV show. So, yeah. I like them. The HK Army TRK Jogger. HK Army also came out with something else. I feel like this is the never-ending HK chit-chat time. But there's too many things on here and it's hard to see. The HK Army Magtek pack. So this is typical paintball harness. I think we've seen a paintball pack like this a lot, right? That's a 4+3+4. So you can hold 11 pods in those things. They're coming in at 3 different colors. You can get them in the blue, like shown there. Blue again. Eventually there'll be some colored one. Maybe there'll be a colored one coming up here. We have, nope, that's, I don't know what color that one is. But either way. Blue, red, nope, blue again, red, and then gray. We've seen a pack somewhat like this. There was a company called LASIK maybe like 10-ish years ago that was oddly kind of, if I remember right, kind of associated with HK. They made a pack that was similar to this. So instead of using Velcro to hold those straps closed, they're using magnets. I probably should have illustrated this a little bit better, the magnetic use. But eventually as this rolls through, it'll come back up and those pod flaps will be open. And it just uses magnets instead of Velcro. I don't know, it's not necessarily like some revolutionary crazy design. It's still a regular pack, but just instead of using, Velcro that's gonna wear out maybe, they're using magnets. It's all right. 80 bucks, you can buy them now. So if you want your magnetic Magtek harness from HK Army, you can do it. Okay, what else? See, this is something that I was like, I don't know if I need to add these because I wasn't necessarily 100% sure if these were new. These are the new Carbon SC elbow pads. I think they're calling them actual elbow sleeves though. But I don't know, they're just new elbow pads from Carbon. Carbon's always making very, very high quality stuff. I've never actually tried on their elbow pads. I have worn and played with their knee pads and I was very happy with. I really like the soft, gooey, jelly foam they're using. It's super comfortable. So I'm interested. I know that I'm in need of a new pair of elbow pads. I have the dye elbow pads that I've been using for a very long time. Yeah, so I'd like to try the Carbon ones. I know I want to try the new Infamous ones. And a couple weeks ago, I think a week ago, the Bunker King Fly Pad review came out. I kind of like those, but they're a little bit short, so I'm curious in trying these. Yeah. I don't know how much they are. Where are my notes? I'm going to find my notes. Notes. They're $55, come in, I think 5 sizes. I think they're coming in small, medium, large, extra large, and XXL. And I honestly don't know if they're any different than the original Carbon ones. I can't tell from the pictures. And I've asked, but everyone's at World Cup, so it's a little hard to get older. Here's some actual pictures of them. I think the videos are probably a little bit more telling though, aren't they? Yeah. Here's a product that I guess I thought we would maybe see it or need it or something. The Goggle Freak ACP barrel. The ACP barrel stands for All Condition Performance. So the idea is that it has straight porting. You can kind of see that straight porting right there. Eventually one of these slides will pick over and you can kind of see how that ball fits in there with the, not straight porting, I'm sorry, straight rifling, right there. So the idea is that the ball touches the barrel less. Well, not really. The idea, that's a good thing, but the idea is that those grooves cut in there. So if you break paint, say it's raining outside really bad, say something crazy happens, those grooves allow that paint or extra water or whatever it is to get shuttled out or pushed out the barrel a lot easier. That should help reduce paint breakage, should help accuracy. Yeah, those two things. Those are the real two things we're trying to reduce. Paint breaking and accuracy. So getting rid of that extra paint or water from rain Well, yeah, hopefully just make it shoot straighter, right? It says it works right there with rain. Dust is a little insane. I don't know if dust is really a problem. Dust isn't really building up in barrels. Plus, it doesn't weigh anything. Yeah. So I don't know. The ACP barrel. Car alarm going off outside. Maybe you probably can't hear that. Yeah, they're cool. 14 inches, black only. I think they're $59. $59.95. Yeah. I don't know. I want to try this thing out. I'm curious about trying it out, but I was thinking about how to like test it over other barrels. So I don't know. I want to think of some sort of system where I could, I don't know, try to do it better. Yeah. Speaking of pants, these are the new PBRack. These are not necessarily new either. The 2020 PBRack flow pant. So PBRack actually like talked about these a few months ago, but I like totally missed them and had no clue. So these are really a totally redesigned flow pant. The flow pant was, we'll say, known for being knickerish. So you can kind of see how the like calf leg area is super tight and then goes up to kind of like a traditional pant. So they're like these weird gator pant things. But my thing that I always thought weird, I always felt like the legs were so tight and the knees were big and it made it just look ridiculous, right? It made it look like you were wearing knickers from like 1920 on the golf field. I almost said golf field. That's not right. Golf course. So I didn't like them. I thought they were like weird looking. But this year they've made the knees a lot smaller. You can kind of see it in this photo, how the knee's a little bit smaller. Crotch area is smaller. So they kind of just streamlined the whole thing down. So this is actually the new knee versus the old knee. So you can see it's quite a bit smaller. The old ones were definitely big and baggy. And that new knee is just so much smaller. So it looks more like a normal pant now. It looked so crazy before. I just thought it was crazy. Here's some old pictures too. So these are the old ones. You can see how the knees are just so big. And then on those new ones, they're just so smaller. Look at that. It's like night and friggin' day. So yeah. You can buy them now on PBRack. PBRack have a bunch of sizes in those. So they're offering them in 4 colors. They have a black, a tan, like that one right there. There's a gray, and then there's like an olive green one with some like, I think, orange highlights. A lot of sizes, extra small through 3X, and I think they're 150. 160. Yeah. They're pretty cool. PBRack pants, I've never tried them, mainly because I thought they were so insane looking. But now I think making the knees a lot smaller kind of has me interested, and I'm curious. So that's another pant review that you may see pretty soon on this channel. The PBRack 2020 Flow Pant. I think that's all my new stuff. Let's see. We're going to go down my list. Prime. CS2 Pro. Oh, I got another one. I found another one. Okay, we got another one we can come back to. PBRack pants. HK gun. Freak tip. Pack. Elbow pad. Track pant. NXL. I think we got one more. So this is a product that most of you guys probably actually might not have gotten this ready. I didn't get this one ready. Mainly because there's no pictures of it and no real information. But if you own a Luxe, say you own like a Luxe 1.0, like a Luxe 2.0, say you have an OLED, maybe you have an ICE. DLX have released the Encore bolt system that will fit your paintball gun. So the first, if you have the first generation, say you have a Luxe 1.0, you can get their bolt system. The weird part is the Encore bolt will actually make, I want to make sure I'm not saying this right. I'm just going to quick peek at my notes so I'm not getting crazy here. Yeah, so the advantage of upgrading to that Encore bolt, which I don't have a picture of though, it does have the ice coating. So it has the same coating that's coming on the ice. It has the same coating that's coming on the Luxe S. That Luxe S, or the ice coating, is going to do a couple of things. It's going to reduce friction, so that reduces wear, lets you have a lower operating pressure. But with those guns, oddly enough, it will increase the air efficiency. So you're going to get increased air efficiency in those old guns when you have the Encore bolt. If you put the Encore bolt in the Luxe Ice, though, you actually still get a lower operating pressure, but oddly enough, reduces your air efficiency. So I think in the Luxe Ice, it already has a really good bolt system. So I think in those guns, it doesn't make sense. But if you have like a 2.0 or whatever that you really like, maybe upgrading to the Encore system, or Encore bolt system, or core, Encore bolt core, I don't know what they're calling it. You might see some sort of benefit. No. Okay, who's got questions for me? Give me like paintball questions. I've been talking to myself for 30 minutes straight. Doing these like rambly for 30 minutes, you guys don't know like how much planning. I mean, that's a good 5 hours of planning, 6 hours of planning to do like 30 minutes. I'm always like planning it all and I'm like, oh, this is gonna take me forever. This is gonna eat up tons of time during the live stream. It never does. It's never as much as I would like. Can you get a mod? Rennick, you want to be a mod? I feel like you're fairly responsible. Moderator status. Hey Saul, want to be a mod? Saul's a moderator. Bam. Old Soul, moderator. There's 3 new moderators. So you get to be a moderator if you come hang out for a long time. Ray G, you cannot be a moderator. I don't know you. Yeah. Thoughts on the hammerhead barrels? Hammerhead barrels, I don't know. I haven't talked about a hammerhead barrel in probably 15 years. So that's one thing. I don't know who's going pro. That was an issue for me today too. I didn't look at any of the semi-pro stuff. So my day took place. My day was working all day, and then getting home and doing all this, and then we're doing it. So I don't actually know a lot of what happened today. So I'm not sure about semi-pro. So someone said AC Diesel. Did DMG win overall though? I thought DMG would have won the overall title. Did they? I truly don't know. Nathan, I think I want to try, I think I'm gonna try to review those PBRack pants. I'm all for making these smaller companies and trying to support these smaller manufacturers. So if they make cool products, I would love for you guys to buy them. Man, yeah, I don't know. AC Diesel going pro. I was talking about that the other day with a player on DMG on the pro team. Dylan Boyum. Dylan and I were talking about what's going to happen if the semi-pro team goes pro. I was like, that's weird, man. So there's going to be 2 DMG teams. So AC Diesel, there's going to be 2 AC Diesel teams. Elevation got dethroned. Well, that's probably good. Craig, you are a moderator, but I don't know where you went. I looked up for you. I saw you when this first started, and then I scrolled up and didn't see you guys chatting or anything. Oh, I see people timing people out already. Whatever. I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. Do whatever you guys want. Yeah. What do I do for my job? This is my job. That's why I'm poor. Speaking of jobs, here's new like Paintball Ruin My Life merchandise is gonna come out at some point here soon. Okay, so we're gonna wait like 30 seconds and then we're gonna do my first thoughts and like unboxing of the Field 1 Force. So we got a Force over there. I don't necessarily want to call this an unboxing, and it's not really like my first look either, right? Like I've played with one of these, and we went down to Field 1 and did a whole interview and talked all about it. So I don't necessarily know what to call this for me. So yeah. Are there too many pro teams? No, I actually think that 20 is like, I think 20 is a good number. One of the things that like, there's 2 things about that, right? I think that too many pro teams makes it weird, right? Because Impact is so much better. Like Heat, Impact, Russian Legion, Dynasty, AC Dallas, X Factor are so much better than like the bottom 5 teams. Like leaps and bounds better almost. But what's good about like having these local teams that aren't very good is it's good for paintball in general, I think. So like a good example is at Sacramento, right? We have DMG. DMG's like, I don't know, they're good. They're good, right? They're not bad. They're not great. They're like in the middle. So they're like, I don't know, 12th or 13th, 10th best team, something like that. And it's good though for Sacramento, right? Like, because it gets people talking about like their local paintball team, and makes people want to cheer for them and root for them and stuff. So even though they might not be good and like might not make entertaining paintball sometimes, I don't necessarily think it's bad that there's too many pro teams. But I get it. I totally understand that idea. Yeah. What did happen to the one-on-one stuff? I don't know. No idea. I'm not sure. Javier, raffle off a Force. I will at one point. Yeah, I'm gonna buy one. This one's not mine. I gotta give that one back. This is not. I don't own this thing, so I gotta give it back tomorrow. Yeah, at some point I'm gonna buy a Force, and I'll have one, and I will use it and review it, and we'll raffle it and do all that nonsense. Okay, so I'm gonna just go grab it. Well, there it is. I thought I lost it. I was like, where'd it go? What was the name of the Magtek harness from MHK? Magnetic harness. It was Magtek. Magtek with a K. Mag. M-A-G-T-E-K. Okay, so they do come with. I'm gonna put this screen down. And historically, we've also had like a camera angle that was down, but like I've had so much problems keeping my other camera's power on. I can't do it. Like it won't. Just power fails. So unfortunately, we're going to. I'm gonna move some stuff around a little bit here. I'm gonna put that right there. We're gonna put that right there. Okay, Field 1 Force. Yeah. So we've also talked about these bags previously on this channel. They're the gun bag. They're good. I mean, they're made well. It's kind of what you'd expect. So it does come with that thing. And unzip. So one thing I noticed is they do come with a lot of stuff. I kind of like all the stuff they're coming with. So there's a couple things that are weird here. You're getting barrel cover, which, you know, cool, barrel cover. In there. So that is, those are the batteries. So that's a spare battery and a USB charger. The USB charger thing is, I don't know, not a fan. The Ryan Greenspan playing card. One thing I always liked that Bob Long did was ship their guns with these little cards. So this card will, man, it's so bright. So that card tells you a bunch of stuff. It'll tell you, I don't know, the velocity they set it at, what day it was, you know, that kind of stuff. It's just cool. It shows you that like they actually did something. I like that. There's a bunch of like quick start things, which I don't quite understand. I kind of wish that this was like one manual, right? Like I kind of wish this was all just one thing. But there are a bunch of different cards. I'm like, what am I, like, I don't know. I find that very weird. I'm not sure about that, guys. I don't know about that one. Okay, there's a paintball gun. We have barrel tip, insert to barrel, and barrel back. So these are the Aculock kits. So you get 2 of these barrel backs actually. So there's a 691 already in here. And that's probably 6, that's probably a smaller size, 683. So 2 barrel sizes. We're just gonna screw barrel on. There's that. There's a shoulder strap for this thing. And parts kit. What's in this parts kit? I didn't actually open this, let's find out. Some Allen wrenches, O-rings. It looks like a reg seat, which is a good thing. Some extra screws. O-ring guide thing, which is handy actually. That's actually really handy. So that actually tells you what O-rings are what, where they go. Cool. Okay. We're popping that down there. And thing of grease. Okay. Yeah, so I like these cases. I'm a fan of these cases. All right, Field 1 Force. There it is. So we're gonna put a barrel on. And I want people to ask some sort of questions, like Philly asked me there, is the eye removal tool is the eye removal toolless. I thought you asked me something else. No, so that's one of the things I kind of talked about earlier. I was saying on the I was talking about the MacDev gun earlier, and I was like, I don't know if I really care so much about having toolless eye covers. So one of the things that I noticed right away is picking this thing up. It is goddamn heavy. This is the heaviest high-end paintball gun you can buy right now. There's no question. Like, it is heavy. And I mean, you can kind of just look at it. I feel like, see how fat the sides are? Like, you can see that red. And like, that's the width of the gun, you know? Like, it's just super wide. Like, there's a bunch of material on there to make it very, very heavy. Yeah. One of the things that I always have liked about, we'll say, the Bob Long guns is just the overall build quality, and you still feel that when you pick these up. So, I mean, it's made very, 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 very well. I have always thought that these Bob Long guns, like, you just hold it and it just feels really, really well made. Like, the build quality on these guns is probably better than Planet Eclipse. Like, I would say that they feel better than the Planet Eclipse guns. And they kind of always have. I think that the biggest issue that I've always had with Bob Long, I'm going to continue to say Bob Long because it's the closest thing we have to compare, is that they were just kind of funny and a little bit weird. So like earlier today, right? Like, I'm taking out the bolt on this thing just to check it out, right? So taking out the bolt's super easy. We just, you know, pop up that back cap. I feel like it's so hard to see. We can just pop up the back cap and then, you know, there's no grease on this though, because I was messing with it, so it was a little stiff. So, yep, it just comes out, right? And this has always been my problem. Is that, like, right? I can take this apart and, like, take the bolt apart, and they've always used, so, like, this has been a common theme and a common design on all the previous Bob Long guns, right? So, like, the Victory, the Insight, the Ripper, like, whatever they were. They used this can style thing, like where my actual fingers are at, right? And then the bolt moves back and forth like that. So you'd think that there's O-rings in there, right? So there's an O-ring right there. Inside here, there's an O-ring. And then there's actually another one inside there, and then another one inside there. So there's actually 3 O-rings that, you know, take friction when you move it. So I would think that, wow, I want to get this big moving piece outside of this piece, but you, like, can't do it because they screw the back and the front together, and there's an Allen spot on there, but, like, you can't get the front off. Like, it drives me crazy. I just don't understand. It's just so mind-blowing, like, that I can't take it apart. It's crazy. Like, I put an Allen on the back, and then what do I have to get, like, pliers or something on the front? Like, I just don't understand. I can't. And I know that, like, I can technically try to grease it by greasing these parts and, like, doing weird stuff and, like, getting grease in there. But, like, it's just crazy. Like, I want to be able to easily disassemble the bolt. And it's not easy to take apart. And that's always been my problem. So I don't understand that. I definitely like the ergonomics, though. Previously, when I've owned G6Rs or whatever, like, I really like the G6R, and I really like the way these feel. Like, holding it in my hands feels very, very good. And I'm a fan of this whole area of this gun. So holding the trigger frame is friggin' awesome. I do think that the foregrip is, for me at least, a slightly too narrow. I wish that the foregrip was a little wider. I definitely like the chunky square shape. Like, I like the Vanquish. I think the Vanquish feels really cool, how I can, like, hold the Vanquish on the front, how it's a little bit more square. I find it hard to hold like this. I'll definitely, like, hold weird. Or what I find I do all the time is, I want to be able to get my hand on this side, is I hold guns like this with my thumb on the side. So instead of holding it just normal like that or wrapping over, I kind of hold back. And I will definitely do that with my, like, thumb on the side like that with one of these two. So ergonomics I like a lot. A piece that I really like, I think that shows off the overall quality on these guns. And that's a hard thing to convey too, is like just how well they feel in your hands. Like it just feels really nice. I hope that's the right size. So the way you take out the batteries, so right now, these are set up to take AA batteries. So there's 2 AA batteries that slide in that front foregrip, but you could also set it up to take that rechargeable battery, kind of like I showed you down there. There's a super chat from someone, but it has not showed up yet. I don't know how to say that name. Luctive? I don't know. I appreciate that very, very much. Super chats are friggin' awesome. I mean, they're one of the main things that, like, allow me to do this. Yeah. So thank you. No pressure tester, I saw someone say. I actually have my phone over there with actual pictures of how much it weighs compared to other guns. But they're in grams, and I figured you guys would want grams, and I can't convert it to percentages really quick, so I didn't even bring it up. It's friggin' heavy. So anyway, yeah. So inside there's 2 AA's and rechargeable battery is an option inside the grip frame. So you could use that rechargeable and really completely remove those AA's if you want to. So to remove those AA's, you do need a tool though. So because this gun's like completely aluminum and there's no like composite or plastic parts on it all, it's made it difficult for them to make, it really is kind of impossible to make the foregrip toolless, right? You have to have like some weird switches and like craziness going on. Whereas like, I don't know, the CS2, you can remove those grips really easy just because it's all plastic and nylon and whatever. So removing that, you do have to have that Allen, but it is one real easy turn. So you can kind of see in how that pops up right there because it is spring loaded. And this whole piece just falls out, and then those batteries fall out very, very clean and smoothly just because it's so made so well. Like everything is just so fantastic. And then this piece, you just pop back in and it clicks into place. That's all you gotta do. It feels really good. I feel like that's the coolest part about this gun. Oh, it's really nice. So you can see, well, this is gonna be really hard to show up on this video, so we're not even gonna try. But it's really cool and really slick, so I like it a lot. I think that someone earlier asked in the chat about eye covers, and that's kind of one of my weirdest things is how it doesn't have toolless eye covers. I mean, we've never seen that with like the Bob Long or like say these Field 1 guns before, so it's not like weird that it has it, but all the other guns do, right? Like all the new current guns all have those removable eye covers. So it's a little weird to not see it with removable eye covers, but I don't think it's that big a deal. Like, I don't know. I don't ever take the eye covers off. I think that I would much rather prefer the batteries be removable without tools because I'm changing the batteries far more often than I'm taking the eye covers off. So, yeah. I don't know. I think that my main thoughts about it are it's heavy. It's super heavy. So that's, I would say, probably not good. It's also, I don't know, ergonomics are really good. So I like it. These guns are pretty hard to find. They're very limited quantities. Like, I'm actually surprised that I have my hands on this. So if you do want this thing, if you head to bfpgear.com or blackfridaypaintball.com, same thing, I'm pretty sure that you can find this bad boy on there and pick it up. I was lucky enough to be able to head by Sac Paintball, a local paintball store here in Sacramento, and they had this thing there for me to borrow really quick. So, yeah. I have to take that back there tomorrow, though, so it'll be at that paintball store, or, yeah, Black Friday's website, so buy it! I'm curious. But yeah, it's heavy. I'm not sure how I feel about the bolt system yet, and ergonomics are awesome, but like I always have said that about these Bob guns, so it has the same frame. Yeah. Something else I think I have that's cool. I'm not sure if I want to necessarily do a complete review on this thing, but the HK Army XO goggle case. For comparison, here's an Exalt case. So what I like about this quite a bit is this. A lot of people are gonna like this. So here's a Proflex. That's the new color Proflex. That's the JT Proflexido. So what a lot of people don't like about, we'll say, this Exalt version 3 goggle case is that, right? It doesn't work like a visor, so you gotta take the visor off. It just, friggin' doesn't go with a visor. So, Exalt just made theirs big. So they just made it all big so that it can just fit bigger masks. So I tried a bunch of different masks in here, and it goes fine with a visor. So closes perfectly fine, everything. So it's considerably larger than the Exalt cases, and really all the other goggle cases that you can buy now. Whether it's, I don't know, I guess the push one, I don't know, you can't really buy any other ones, it's just these two. So putting them next to each other, look at it, it's just way bigger, This is the version 2. The version 2 is about 1/4 of an inch shorter than the version 3. The version 3 is maybe like that. I mean, you can't even tell the difference. So it's definitely taller. It's definitely just bigger all around. I mean, look at it, like, from the side, it's way bigger, like everything. It's just a bigger bag. But I like that bigger size because it's allowing us to just put bigger masks in it, right? You can put bigger masks, or you can put a mask with a visor. Like this thing, I don't know about this color on this yet. I'm still a little bit torn. Definitely like the straps, but I don't know about that color. So you can do that. But what's really neat too, I think, is that you can, the Velcro, is take that out. So you could use it to clean stuff or, whatever. You just got an extra microfiber. So it's cool that it's all microfiber lined. I kind of like that. I really feel like Exalt should have done that though, right? Exalt is the company that's kind of like made the pod swab and then makes all a bunch of cool microfiber towels and stuff. So I really would have thought I maybe would have seen Exalt do this before. It's a little wonky to put back in, but I don't know. And this bigger front pocket is way bigger, so it can put like full-size lenses in there, like big whole lenses. There is not a lens in there right now, but yeah, I like them. I like how it's big, and then also can take big lenses. I noticed that they put this goggle strap, or this like handle on the bottom, because when you mount this to a backpack, like if you actually carabiner this onto a backpack, see how it like swings down like that? So if you put this on the backpack, it would swing down and then stop, and then it just kind of hangs a little bit better. So Exalt's straps right here, and it kind of like swings around a little bit more than this thing would. I mean, I don't know if that's a big deal, but I don't know, I just noticed that. That thing, I don't know, I think the force was definitely the main thing that I wanted to like bring out and kind of talk about. So I sort of talked about the force a little bit. Who has questions about the force? I don't have anything else I want to talk about. So let's just go for it. Question and answer time. I talked a lot just now. I just talked a lot. Yeah. I don't know if I'd say it's over-engineered, because there's 2 pockets and 2 zippers. There's not too much to them. They're pretty simple. Are there too many California teams? I don't know. I would say no. I don't know. Could you have too many? I mean, I don't know. Do we have too many? Are there too many paintball teams? No, definitely not. Force or the CS2? Well, I'd go with CS2. I can pretty much tell you right now I'm going to choose CS2. So this is another thing I struggle with, right? Like I was talking about earlier about the Prime. And I was talking about, so the Prime, we talked about the Prime. Does the foregrip move? We totally forgot to talk about that. Yep. So yeah, on the Force, I'll bring that back. So because the only thing that's traveling through the Force is power, Like the only thing, or not the force, the only thing that's traveling through this foregrip is the power, right? So you're putting the batteries in there, and it's just sending power back to the main board. So there's some sort, I've never actually looked inside there. There's some sort of wire or something connecting the foregrip to the main board. But only one wire, right? Because it's just power. It's not sending any other information. So what they've done is allowed you to pull off this and flip it over. So it's somewhere inside there, there's some sort of plate. The reason I bring up the power wire thing is because somewhere in there, there's something you might have to do to flip to allow to move this foregrip. So you can take off the plate, flip the plate, and then the foregrip will actually move back. So you could move this foregrip, instead of like being right here, it would move to like right here. So it'd be a closer, smaller, I don't know, grip, we're gonna say. I don't think anyone's gonna do that. I mean, I would bet that 1,000, for every 1,000 guns they sell, one person's gonna move the foregrip. I did see that. Someone said efficiency from ANS gear was disappointing on that. Yeah, for sure. But I don't know, that doesn't make sense because Dynasty uses them and they shoot tons of paint, so I don't know. I was confused by that. It didn't really make any sense to me, so I don't know. So yes, whoever asked, you can move the foregrip back. Yeah, for sure. That's what I've also really always liked about that same person. That's the same people that are physically manufacturing these. So like, if you go to Field 1, right? Like they don't actually make these there. They're not like manufacturing them there. It's just like if you went to Dye or Planet Eclipse or whatever. They don't actually make the guns there. They either outsource or they have another manufacturing facility offsite. So Field 1, all these guns are made in Oregon. So they're made in Oregon and anodized and assembled in California. And made very well. So that's a good thing, right? If you're looking to support your local community, if you want to support American manufacturing and just support America, right? Rather than supporting Taiwan, which isn't, I mean, there's nothing wrong with Taiwan, but I'm from here, so yeah, support your local economy. So maybe buying from an American manufacturer like Field 1 is a good thing. I think it is. So, I just turned it on. Try to turn it off. Turn it off. So yeah, it's made super well. And I don't think that's because it's made in America. I think it's made super well because they're paying for it to be made super well. Yep. So someone said, FYI, MacDev's website is totally working. Well, it totally was not working earlier. I have screenshots of a 500 error, or not 500 error. Let's find out. MacDevPaintball.com is loading. It definitely works now. It 100% was not working earlier. Not that it matters, because do they even have the Prime XTS? They do have the XTS on there. I just wanted to know the price of the XTS. And $1,400. So that's not bad. I thought they were going to be $1,500. I mean, I guess the same thing. It's not all that much of a difference. Yeah. Someone got a 404. It definitely didn't work out earlier. I got a server error. It was a 500 error, so yeah. Who knows? That's a good question. Dartan. What's the difference between the Dye i5 2.0 and the Dye i5? I have no idea. I don't know. I tried to find, I haven't actually reached out to ask Dye. I mean, I'm sure they'd tell you or me if we actually asked. But I looked at the pictures. I don't know, they're new pictures, so they're not the old pictures, but I couldn't tell the difference. There was like a little spot on the ear that looked different. The feature's the same. It doesn't say like anything different, so I don't know. I think that like, I don't know. I think that they like switched manufacturing. Someone said different colors, but they're not different colors. They're the same colors. They changed like little like cues where the colors are different, but not really. It's still black, emerald, fire, storm, whatever they're calling those colors. It's the same colors. I was confused. I don't know. I also don't know what's with this stupid 2D lens they're making. It's so dumb. It's so bad. It's like just a lens with a big ass die logo on it. It's like, who wants that? I don't want that. I don't know. People are saying colors still, so I don't know. Maybe they did change the colors, but from my research the past couple weeks, or not couple weeks, really, I looked a couple weeks ago and then like 2 days ago, so I don't know. Who knows? Almost half of the pro teams are from California. Well, sorta. They're really not, though. Yeah. I'm with you, though. Los Angeles Ironman, San Diego Dynasty, San Diego Aftermath, Sacramento DMG. Well, X Factor's from Texas, and their name is San Antonio X Factor. And then Los Angeles Infamous. But it's kind of a scam, right? Because the Ironmen are from California, for sure. Dynasty's from California. I don't think any Aftermath people are from California. They all live in, like, Chicago. DMG's from Sacramento. X Factor's, yeah, Texas. And then Infamous is, none of them live in California either. It's weird. The teams are just called that. Like, I really think that, like, Aftermath should be Chicago Aftermath or something, right? And then Infamous would make more sense if they were, like, Chicago or Detroit or something like that. A lot of the players live in California, though, but it makes sense, right? Like, I mean, today it was 78 degrees outside. And it's the middle of November almost, you know? Like, why? That's why, you know, it's hard.